I'm MD Mushfiqur Rahman. I'm from the University of Katana. I study in medicine and surgery, and I took IMED basically. So first of all, this is a really long process, and it requires a lot of time. For me, like I personally took like 10 months because I felt like it's actually a good kind of time to put in to get into these kind of competitive exams. Like studying in medicine and surgery in Italy, the most important thing is IMED. And for IMED, you have to be really prepared for that. So first of all, you have to start by preparing for IMED itself. And there are a lot of courses in like online. You can find a lot of courses, but personally, I used IMED Buddy. But you can find nowadays a lot of courses, and most of them are actually good. But if you ask me personally, I used IMED Buddy, and for me, it was like a really good course. It's a bit expensive, but if you can bear the expenses, I would say it's like the best quality source out there. Like you cannot find any other course which is better than that. So yeah, that's the preparation part. And I like I said before, it's better to take preparation for like 10 months or like even more than that if you want. But even some people, I saw some of my colleagues, they took preparation in 2 months. If you are really comfortable, like if you have really solid basics in high school, then you can even take it in 2 months. But for me, like if you just want to be sure, like you want like 100% guaranteed chance, because for us Asians, sometimes we cannot just take like a lot of tries, because IMET is only held in once in a year. And also like you cannot just give it anywhere, that getting the seat itself, like registration and everything, it also takes a lot of processes, a lot of money. So like you should take it when you're like 100% ready, and like you are sure that if I take it now, I'll pass the exam, I'll get into a university in that case.
Okay, so could you please also explain what are the steps involved in it? Either you need to give the IMAT first and then apply for the admission, or how does it work? Like, how do you go with the flow?
Yeah. So basically, the flow goes like this. First of all, you have to choose a university, and this is the most important part actually, because like for us non-Europeans, we are non-Europeans mostly. If you have a family here, then maybe if you have the permesso di soggiorno, the residence permit, then you're gonna be like you can take it as the EU or EU. But most of us, most of the normal people like us, we are like non-EUs. And for us non-EUs, we can only choose one university. So you have to be really specific. For example, if you have really nice score, let's say if you score 70 out of 90, but you choose in a university which is in there, a really high cutoff score is required. So you're not gonna get into there. So let's say the cutoff score for that university is like 75. So you're not gonna get into that university, but you still had 70, which is a really nice score. But if you have chosen like maybe like a easier university to get into, like the south universities, the universities in the south of Italy are easier to get into than the universities in the north of Italy. So like if you choose the southern universities, it's a bit easier to get in. Like the cutoff score is like not that much. But of course, like you still have to, it depends on the year to year. Like some years it gets real difficult. So first of all, it's really important to choose one university. So you can only choose one university, and you have to be really comfortable in that. Like you cannot just choose like I like this place and like I'll go into that. Then you have to put in that effort. Like you have to get that kind of score, and then like you can only get into that university if you have more score than the cutoff score. So you have to be careful about that. And after choosing the university, like before taking the IMET itself, you still need to like something called like a pre-enrollment. If you get the pre-enrollment, you can only take the IMET if you get the pre-enrollment. If you don't get the pre-enrollment, then you're not gonna be able to take the registration, because IMET registration, like you need like a pre-enrollment. And the pre-enrollment is pretty straightforward to get. Like for example, for me, I also took the IELTS, the language proficiency test, because like for us it's required. If you have like Italian language certificate, then you can also use that. But most of us don't have it, so we just use the English language certificate basically. So you have to take that, and with the English language certificate and your high school transcripts, you have to apply to the university. You'll get like a pre-enrollment letter, and with the pre-enrollment letter, you're gonna register in the IMET exam. And then like sometimes for Asia, especially in Southeast Asia, in that region, in India, I think now there are like 3 test centers. In Pakistan, I think last time I checked, there was only one test center. In Bangladesh, there is no test center. So like getting the test, getting registered into like a test center itself, and like getting like a seat just to take the exam is also like a race kind of, because like the bookings are really like competitive, not competitive, but the bookings are really busy, so it gets filled up really quickly. So you have to be really like fast with your hands and fast with the deadlines and everything. Like every year the IMED is held in like 17th of September, and the registration starts 2 weeks before that, so like the 1st of September. And it depends on the university to university, but the pre-enrollment usually stops by May. But some universities like, okay, for example, in my time in 2024, there are two new universities like the University of Catania and the University of Cagliari. They release their like um, they become like um, they released their course later on, so like they extended their deadline up to like August, so like I can like just apply in August also.